Boys, I remember the very first test I ever took. It was back in kindergarten, and it was on how to tie my shoes. And since that test, which I passed with flying colors, you did the cross, put the string through, make the bunny loops, cross, string through. Ever since then, I have not changed the way that I tie my shoes. And this is important because now that I am powerlifting and I go through lifting, I'm constantly working and constantly getting quizzed on how I'm doing things. Today is one of those days. Today is an assessment day. We're not going heavy. It's not that kind of assessment. The only time that we go heavy enough to assess our strength levels is when we're on the platform. No. Today, we are doing a form assessment. We do a form assessment every single week. We've got a kind of pseudo cardio day where we start off with some sprints, and then we do a superset, which is 30 air squats, 20 push-ups, 10 band-assisted pull-ups. The assessment is in those air squats, right? Because we bust out the PVC pipe, right? We bust out the squat shoes, right? That is a 0-pound squat. We are aiming for 30 straight 0-pound squats with perfect form. If things start to hurt, that means we're getting out of the groove. Our squat is not doing well. It is an assessment on that, and we can use the data that we collect today to determine what we need to work on when we actually load up the bar. If you treat a 0-pound squat like an 1,000-pound squat, perfect every single bit, then things are going to go a lot easier. The 1,000-pound squat is going to start moving like that 0-pound squat, right? But how does this relate to me tying my shoes? Because I have not worked on how I tie my shoes ever since that assessment back in kindergarten. That's why I wear Crocs. Do you want your squat to look like you wear Crocs, or do you want your squat to look like you're the best darn tootin' knot tire? Your shoes never become untied and they're always comfortable. Is that what you want? Tie your damn shoes. Let's go get it, boys. So, assessment, the squats are coming together way better now that we have the new stretching regimen that coach has implemented. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm fat. But we did fall into a little bit of a problem. The number of reps that had any sort of pain, 3 out of 180. So 3 times 60, so that's 3 times 1/20th, 5%, right? 5% of the reps, not good. So we're at 95% efficiency. We want to be at 100% efficiency and then start compounding that towards a lifetime, probably like 90+% efficiency, where we are on track and cooking with hot oil, for lack of a better term. But I ran into a little bit of an issue. See, I grabbed a PVC pipe, which is a bunch of small sections of PVC pipe linked together with couplers and duct taped together because I'm a cheap asshole and I couldn't fit the actual length PVC pipe in my Honda Civic. So it snapped in half. The PVC pipe snapped in half. So I still wanted some sort of barbell replacement, so I used one of the snapped halves, and that snapped in half too, because only the center, this little bulbous part with like 40 layers of duct tape on it, was reinforced enough to withstand being at the pivot point of the torque of my arms and elbows, cueing my elbows down cue. So that snapped the PVC pipe in half, which the final 2 sets, the final set, really, the second to last set, I ended up, was when I snapped it into a quarter, and I held on to one of the quarters while I was squatting, so I had something in my hands, and then I just decided not to have anything in my hands on the final set, and that felt so foreign. It felt weird, but I don't know if we can actually count that towards our peak efficiency. So, because I mean, if you're not cueing your upper body at all, are you actually practicing the squat correctly? But we don't have any sort of replacement PVC or wooden dowels or anything low enough weight other than barbells, but that'd be a 45-pound squat rather than a 0-pound squat. So it'd be counterproductive for what we are going for. But felt good. Only those 3 reps of pain, and that was the hamstring. I stretched out the hamstring a bit, and it cleared right up. So now we are on to the final superset of the day. We've got 7 total movements today. The first movement was elliptical sprints, which I only showed you the time that I was doing. It was 2-minute sprint, 1 minute off with a 10-minute LISS, low impact steady state cardio warm up. So we ended up doing 34 minutes of cardio, with 24 of that being sprinting, non-sprinting, almost like a snake run that I used to do back in football, or some people called it UFCs. But a 2-to-1 ratio of sprinting to steady, low impact, steady state, going for that cardio, going for that HRV just to go. But we got our next superset, which is, I believe it's lat pull down. I hate doing chest supported row because my face just gets planted into the back of a bench and there's no cleaning supplies at this gym. So God only knows what sort of diseases are on that bench, which I am placing my face, my eyes, my mouth, because I'm breathing, my nose. What kind of diseases are breeding on these vinyl covers while I will be doing that? So I will instead be doing T-bar rows because it's the same angle. The only difference is that I will have a little bit of a hamstring involvement, keeping my upper body upright, and I won't have anything to brace against. Oh, someone's car is going off. Not mine, okay. But and we're supersetting that with side raises. Let's go. It's like 66, mid 60s in here. And I'm very moist. The thing about being moist is it saps your heat faster. So, not flexing on anyone, just taking the shirt off, because being drier is going to be better than not. Because I don't like being cold. Which is weird that I live in a place that's always cold. Not always. The summer's always hot, but so we've got single arm lat pull down. And we're on the knees instead of using the actual lat pull down attachment, because range of motion is important. Because you get a good stretch at the top. You're able to compress. Very nice, be explosive. Mostly the range of motion, because accessories are stretching under a load, right? So we get a good extra range of motion by going on our knees, doing a single arm to get a little bit of more isolation, and we're able to lean into the extra range of motion a little more. So we get a better stretch, better everything, but it means we have to reduce the weight a little more. It's almost like cutting the weight in half, because if you think about it, using a regular lat pull down, you've got 2 arms lifting a certain weight, so the weight's divided into 2. So cut it in half, that'll be your single arm. Because I've been having some bicep tendonitis, so we increase the range of motion, stretch out the biceps a little more with this twist motion going on, and it's clearing some things up. Because if you constantly flex, compress without stretching a muscle, that's how it gets tight. And when a muscle gets tight, that's when tendonitis develops or muscle tears because they lose the muscle elasticity. So it's important to get high range of motion, high quality of reps so that you can get the most gains. And it's not like reducing the weight is going to reduce your strength. Having good form, having good everything on accessories is important. Not trying to be strong on accessories. Nobody asks you how much you lat pull down. They ask you how much you bench. They ask you how much you squat. They ask you how much you deadlift. So it's important to load up on those ones and have the accessories support those by stretching out all the muscles that you use in those compound movements. And you also get a better pump, really, because you're increasing the micro tears, increasing the time under tension, which increases the hypoxia in the muscles in a way that your body combats muscle hypoxia by increasing blood flow to the region. Which means more blood to the areas, bigger pumps, bigger muscle growth. And a pump itself is not important. Getting a pump is what's important, because getting a pump is like showing that the movement has potential for gains to be had. So this one, we're going to try and roll the shoulders forward, get some scapular retraction going to stretch out the upper back. Gonna have to pick up use the lifting hooks, because the endurance of my grip with so many reps is gonna negatively impact my ability to hold on to the weight and get that stretch. There's no good. And then we get the tippy top with these side raises, rolling the shoulders forward. You can already feel the pump. Pump feels good. I might have to reduce the weight on that though. Side raises, because this is a recovery day, not a max effort. So we're trying to get most stretch, most blood flow to the areas to help increase the rate of recovery, which is why it starts with cardio. So it's kind of like a cardio day. Whew. I'm glistening. Going to be nothing on the front. Maybe the delts, Hey, that's not too bad. Even this side's not too bad. But back is where everything came in. So I was trying to work on packing the lats a little bit better. Oh, am I posing right? I was basically trying to bring the elbow further back to stretch the lat. I can't get it as good on this side as I can on this side. That's a dominant side, non-dominant side issue going on. But I mean, I can't see off the check. I'm editing this, how it actually looks. But good day. Good day. Ooh, got a little bit of a oblique popping out. Hey, look, that's all fat. Like fat oblique. It's cool to see. It's cool to see. Trimming it down a little bit, keeping the weight the same. That's the goal. It's Saturday, which means I get my cheap meal, or my free meal, my one meal a week where I get to eat free. And I still have to pay for it, but I'm not unrestricted meal, rather. And I'm making lasagna. But unfortunately, when I went to the store last night, I forgot to pick up lasagna noodles and ricotta cheese. And I thought, oh, maybe I can make these on my own. Maybe. And then I looked up the processes and I was like, I do not have enough time to do that today. So next week I will make my own lasagna noodles and ricotta cheese. But it is supposed to be a wicked bad nor'easter tonight into tomorrow morning. And normally I do my grocery shopping tomorrow morning. But I don't want to drive in the snow, so I'm at Walmart right now anyway, so might as well show you guys the grocery haul too. That's it. That's really it. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am.